Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are right now. Happy weekend to you and happy new month. Welcome to the last month of the year 2023. It's a really an opportunity and also a privilege to be here again this day. Well, for all our new viewers out there, it's James Matters with Roy. And I'm really very happy to be here again to have another live discussion that is very insightful, inspiring, and impactful. So if you can see me clearly well and you can hear me audibly well, don't hesitate to share this video out to your friends, your colleagues at work, and whoever you know will benefit greatly from this discussion today. And as you can see clearly, I am not the only one here. I have an amazing guest with me, who is not a person but Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Bolaji. Guys, join me in welcoming this amazing couple for their support, their love, and in fact, out of their busy schedule, they are always there to share with us from the wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir and ma. So I want you guys to join me in welcoming them once again. Thank you so much, Saima. And over to you, Saima. Kindly introduce yourself to us, especially for the sake of people who do not know you, people who are seeing you for the first time, and tell us any other thing you would like us to know about you. Over to you, Saima.
Thank you so much, our hosts, our dear hosts. We appreciate the opportunity to be here again. And my name is Fola Bolaji, and I have my wife with me here, Bumi. And we have been happy to always be on this show. And we are glad to be mixing together again with our friends all around the world. So thank you so much. We are both based in Boston, Massachusetts, and we are growing in the Lord and learning new things every day. I'm
Wow,
sorry my voice is somehow because of cold, but
fine.
take me as I have.
It's fine. Sorry about that, sir. Well, really, we want to appreciate you, even despite all odds, you still find a way or the other to join us on the show today. Thank you very much, sir, for that brief introduction. So, guys, today is going to be an interesting conversation. This is something that happens in the family frequently. More often than not, we see couples having issues over this seemingly little issue, the issue of, oh, he checked my phone, why did he check my messages, I missed some messages because my husband checked my phone, I missed some messages because my wife checked my phone and I didn't even know. These are things, little things that causes conflict even in the home, and that is why we are here today, guys. So if you can see us once again, please don't hesitate to share this video out to your friends and tell them we are live. And it's still Jason Matters with Roy. So today, as you can see from the flyer, we'll be looking at, does he have to check my phone? Does she have to check my phone? Okay. So today we'll be looking at, secrecy, between secrecy and privacy in marital relationship. To what extent should there be privacy between couples? To what extent should there even be anything secret between couples? To what extent can we set boundaries? Can we set boundaries between husband and wife? But firstly, I think we should look at, why would couples want to check each other? Well, okay, I think before, I wouldn't want to talk too much, but let me hear from our guest, Sainama. Maybe Sister Blue wants to go first, or Brother wants to go first on why would because
Yeah, yeah. So this is really very interesting, and there are some of these topics that even myself and my wife we don't discuss them before coming on the broadcast, so that we'll be as natural as possible, expressing each other's mind. So it will not be a formulated, a prearranged answer to many of these questions and things like that. Let's make it real. Let's make it natural, and don't let us fake it. because there are many fake things that we see on social media and on general media. But let's be real with ourselves as children of God that wants to learn and that wants to grow. What are the situation? Why must it check my phone? We are talking about privacy, we are talking about secrecy, and these are different things. Because my field is cybersecurity. So I'm very familiar with data privacy. I'm familiar with corporate secrets. I'm familiar with different concepts in terms of regulations and compliances. There are different regulations, there are different compliances in different geographical locations. The way data is being handled in Africa may be different from the way it's expected to be handled in Europe. You'll have heard of maybe something like GDPR. You'll have heard about HIPAA, HRPA. You'll have heard about pharma for education and different regulations. In some part of Africa, I knew that some of our parents can go to the school and say, "Oh, I want to meet with the lecturer. I want to know what is the performance of my word. What is the performance of this guy, and all those kind of things." But in some other parts of this world, they don't allow such things. If your child does not give you permission, especially if he's over 18, you cannot go and meet the lecturer and say, "I want to know the score." You cannot go to the school, go to the department. You cannot go and check the performance. There are different regulations about privacy, about things that are not meant to be out there. But when we are talking about marriage, then we need to bring another perspective. Secrecy is different from privacy. There are private data that you need to keep away from your spouse, probably because they are job related and the regulation at your job includes, oh, people's health information, don't share it. You will have received different trainings about that. But if it is something related to your marriage, then you can open up about that and you can share all those things. So now, if I'm talking about things that are sensitive on my phone, then things that are sensitive on my work phone is different from things that are sensitive on my personal phone. So people need to be able to separate that, keep something that is work related from home related. As for me, my wife has access to everything that's about my personal life because she's the one I've made vow to that will honor her with the whole of my body, with the whole of my life, and all of those things. So she should have access to my phone. Now, if my wife is now trying to find out something about me or something about somebody else from my phone, then there is a problem. And that problem is not with the phone. The problem is with the trust and our communication system. So instead of treating the problem of can she access my phone, then we should begin to treat the problem of can she communicate properly with me? Does she trust me? Is she still seeing me as the right person that she married? Is she still seeing me as a child of God? Is she still seeing me as a husband? Is she still seeing me as a dependable person? Because our motive for checking the phone matters. Our motive for digging into my privacy matters. But if you are talking about real marriage and real relationship, good communication, good relationship, then we should be talking about what is she looking for that she could not ask me. And if she feels I'm not available, I'm busy, does she has the permission to check my phone for such things? Yes. So I will allow her to talk before we continue about what is privacy, secrecy, and to what extent can your spouse get into what you call your privacy. Okay.
Well, from where you ended, I just want us to draw a line again between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is what you see or count as not for public for you, or the time that you just want to have for yourself. You might want to have like a private time, which there is nothing wrong with it. Like everybody needs their sanity one way or the other. But secrecy involves hiding something. That is a major difference. There is a difference between something that you just I'm trying to think of something here.
A
For
phone call, a
example, I
message.
like to sleep in the dark, or not sleep off, but just lie down. If I'm the only person, I like to be in the room and just be in the dark. My husband does not like a dark room. Now, if I'm alone in the room, like sometimes he makes a joke, like he just like joke with me and stuff like that. But I will just be like, see, it's my private time. Go somewhere else. Like, go take your phone call somewhere. Don't disturb me. Like, you can go somewhere else. I'm not trying to hide something. I'm just trying to like create a space for
Abanini.
myself, something like that. For example, he might be taking some phone calls that I think that he needs privacy for, because the um my presence could probably distract from the flow of the conversation, or he's talking with someone, maybe he wants to counsel with someone. I don't need to sit down beside him and say, now let's do it together because we are husband and wife. I can give them their private space to counsel with that person, either male or female. Now, that is just privacy. It is more of born out of convenience. It is not secrecy. Nothing is hidden. It is not because he doesn't want that person to know that he has a wife that I'm staying away. So that is privacy. But secrecy has a notion of hiding something.
Something. Yeah.
And personally, I would say the check is, if you're guilty, if something in you is saying, oh, my husband must not see this, so my wife must not see this, so then that is secrecy. But if he sees it, no harm, then that is privacy. It's just convenience.
Yeah.
So there's a line between that. And when it comes to like phone password and stuff like that, I just think it's safer. Like, I have my I know the password to my husband's phone, but I can't remember the last time I picked the phone to check anything there because I'm not looking for anything. But sometimes we just say jokingly that if he closes his eyes now, just quickly pick the phone, and before they will register the death certificate, shall transfer all the money in the account before you start telling any story. Yeah, those are jokes though. But they are practical things that has happened to some people before. There are experiences that people have had, that they found their spouses and they don't even have access to their phone just because they never know the password. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm picking the phone, reading it every day. There's probably an issue if I have
Yeah.
to be doing that.
Yeah.
Even knowing the password does not solve that problem actually. If there's problem of trust, knowing the password will not necessarily solve it. Maybe you can give confidence, but I don't think it solves it. So that is just how I see it.
Wow, interesting. Thank you very much, Saima, for those wonderful contributions. I think we have some chats here from Facebook and from YouTube. So thank you very much, Mr. Ogaga Aguro. Oh, you're welcome, Sister Ma. Thank you very much, sir. Daddy Femi Akinlade. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ifi. But that won't be in your phone if it is work related. And then we have, wow, we have a long comment here. And Daddy Femi said, okay, oh, we got this comment from Mr. Uni Daniel. I don't have a single privacy policy for my phone. Trust has been built over time, and both of us don't even have need to check each other's phones. If I get a crush somewhere due to the nature of work and place in church, I am the first parent that will tell her everything that transpired between me and the admirer. It is safe for me. We know each other's phone passwords, but there's nothing we are searching for. Oh, interesting. Okay, and Daddy Femi said um, these couples are really a blessing to us on this platform. Oh, thank you very much. So that's really the truth. You've been a blessing to us. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma, for your time and always being there to share with us from your wealth of knowledge. All right, so back to our discussion. Yeah. But I want us to look at it from this angle where like Brofola said that it's not really about a phone, but is it is it that she's looking for something or he is looking for something? Because in situations where you have your phone as the wife, and then maybe you got some messages on your WhatsApp, and possibly when you were not there, possibly the phone was closer to your husband or some messages came in, and I wouldn't know for any reason, he just checked. And then using WhatsApp for example, once the person checks the message, it shows that it's been delivered and it's been read. So for the owner of the phone coming back, you might not really notice that some messages came in. So possibly maybe few days after, that's when you realize, oh, I got a message from this person. I was supposed to even respond to this message, but because your spouse already read the message, and sometimes you have to respond to these messages immediately, but because they have read the spouse has read the message, it's difficult for you to respond. So these are some of the issues that, not really like, okay, maybe is trying to monitor something, but for the sake, how will I say it? It's not even privacy, not privacy, but if you read someone else's message,
Yeah.
try to uh let the person know, oh, this person sent you a message, this person messaged you earlier, don't forget to reply, don't forget to respond. Of
Yeah.
course, the phone is open. You can always check anything at any time, whatever it is. But always remember to remind the person, oh, I checked your message, this person message. To, how do I say that? To at least make the person not lose on messages, maybe important ones that need immediate responses. So these are some of those things. So how do you actually address this
Yeah.
as spouses in the home? Possibly maybe it's the wife that read the message or the husband that read the message. How do you manage this? How do you approach it to make
Yeah.
the other partner know? Not like having the feeling of, are you hiding something? Don't you want me to check your phone? Why are you telling me that? So things
Yeah.
like this, how do you address it so that it doesn't cause conflict in the home?
Yeah. That is very legit. And that is very correct and common. And I will give us some very little scenarios that can help us to bring this home. But behind it all, the background thing I want to say is little things can cause problem in marriage if they are not well handled, if they are not well managed. And the formula for it all is, in a bid to satisfy people outside of your family, don't scatter your own family. When you have a motive that you want to make some people happy outside your home, don't let that motive scatter your own home. Prioritize your home over anybody you want to satisfy outside your home. Now, it can happen to any one of us. Myself and my wife has had different conversations around that in time past. Oh, if you check my message, please remember to tell me. And let us always make room for mistakes and omissions. What if I don't remember? Should it cause a fight? If it is not done intentionally, should it become an issue that we now begin to argue about? Oh, and I checked it, I forgot to tell you about it. Because especially people that are in the developed countries, they will know some of these things I'm talking about. Because we have different time zones. Before you wake up in the morning, sometimes you may see hundreds of WhatsApp messages. Now it now comes to which one will I check? Which one will I respond to? If you now sit down to be responding to hundreds of messages in the morning, how will you take care of kids? How will you prepare them for school? How will you dress up for work? So sometimes we work on, okay, maybe during the weekend I will go through all my messages. or I will pick a day when I'm not that busy during the week to go through all those messages and respond. So in the bid to do that, you can miss certain messages. So if some messages have been read when you are not there, you will not see those messages. But the reality is communication.
Why would you read your spouse's messages? Like, if you're going,
No, let me
yeah.
land. So what I'm saying is there has to be a communication.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a communication around what happens if intentionally or unintentionally you read your spouse's messages. There have been situations that maybe I'm closer to the phone of my wife and her mom is calling, or somebody that I know is calling, or somebody I don't know. Or maybe I'm doing something on her phone and then a message came in, and when the message came in, yeah, it will show automatically that I've read it or something of that nature. So I have the right to tell her. But in case, even if I forget, that should not be a problem that will now begin to argue. Oh, you read my message and you didn't tell me. I missed that. I missed. No, 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 no. You should not get to that level. But as husband and wife, you should live a life that will not put your spouse in a bondage. Don't do this. It's my thing. It's my device. If the device is already causing problem in your home, why not why not deprioritize the device? Because if the home is scattered, you will still be holding on to your devices, right? But will you find your marriage where it's supposed to be? The peace of mind that you'll have lost over the issue of devices. I was listening to, yeah, I was listening to someone recently, maybe a few days ago, and the person was saying that you need to be exercising something. Yeah, I think 2 days ago. There is something he does. I think every 2 weeks, he will switch off his laptop and switch off his phone for 24 hours. Which is like a fasting to let people know that I'm not addicted to this thing. And this thing is not ruling my life. So sometimes we may get to a level that gadget is becoming our Lord, is becoming our husband, is becoming our wife. And if anything goes wrong with the gadget, our life is scattered. So we should begin to get to a level that we know, do you believe in your husband more than your gadget? Do you believe in your wife more than what people are sending to you? Will you crucify your husband? Will you crucify your wife because she tampered with a particular message that will not even determine the direction of your family or your direction of your life? So that is my own contribution to that.
Well, for me, I believe that in a relationship where there is trust, if a situation happens that my husband accidentally like read my message, and when we use the word accident, it means it is not a common occurrence. It is not something that is happening every time. If by the time I get to my phone, all my WhatsApp messages have been read and I don't even know because I'm driven to read it by notification. So if that is happening like every day, that is not an accident. That has become an habit that is um attached to a root. It's a reaction to something, and that is what we need to treat. So that is number one. Number two, if my husband now accidentally read my message and I come to read it and I begin to scream and shout or be aggressive, then it's a reaction to something. It is not about the message. And I'm an advocate for treating the root rather than the symptoms, because symptoms is just pointing at something. If there's an aggression over why did you read my phone, why did you, there is a problem, and that problem is what we should treat. This, all of those signs are just symptoms. Now, to Sister Rhoda's point about somebody reading a message, it is act of respect to inform your spouse if you read their message. For example, I'm a very, very poor person at managing my phone. Like once I start working, I don't even put my phone facing up, let alone I will see notification. I put it face down. So if I don't touch that phone until evening, or by the time I pick it up and I'm reading through, there are so many things I'm going to miss. Like if I'm not looking at it. Now, if my spouse now reads a message from my mom that please call me, and he did not tell me, he doesn't speak too well because I'm not going to get that message. And I don't know that somebody needs my attention. So it is an act of respect to communicate to your spouse. Now, there are times that And that's why I said all of these reactions is a pointer to something. There are times that my husband is like talking to someone on my phone. Maybe I was talking to the person, I say, give it to your husband, and he's talking. And his phone rings, and I see, oh, my sister. That's his elder sister. I pick the phone to say, he's on another call. He's going to call you back or something. So because I think he might not even, or I might not even remember to tell him that, oh, your sister called you when your phone was with me or something like that. But there's also another thing that I want to mention, which happens sometimes. That is spouses responding to one another's messages without
Consent.
declaring, not even just consent, declaring your identity.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, I'm chatting with Sister Rhoda. The phone is with her husband. He knows me and wants to and knows the answer to maybe what I'm asking. Respect the man that you say, this is me, oh, it's not here, but I know, or something like that. It is an act of respect. Some people do it. Later you realize
Impersonation or
it's
something.
impersonation.
Impersonation,
You
yeah.
guys, you are one. We respect you for that. You're
Yeah.
married and you are one. But the thing is, when I'm talking to you, I don't know that I'm talking to Sister Rhoda. I don't know that I'm
You're talking
chatting
to
with
the
the
husband.
husband. So
That,
even in the midst of us talking about privacy, you should identify the father. It should be born out of respect.
yeah,
Respect your spouse.
yeah,
It is not, it is overbearing to feel like, I don't know, but that is just my perception of it, that you should show respect. So, and if I now come back to say, oh, mom called me, she said that she sent a message, and I can't remember reading that message or something. So, oh, I forgot, oh, I'm sorry. It's not that you just feel like, I just forgot, no need. So, like, you should be apologetic because you made me miss out on something.
yeah.
So, couples should also respect one another, even when you are dealing with one another's prop, not property. It is both of property, but there should still be respect.
Yeah,
The Yoruba will say that it doesn't belong to father and son, and there's no boundary.
yeah,
But it doesn't mean that the boundary should be a huge wall, but it should be something born out of respect.
yeah. Let me even make very quick comment about that because, yeah, when you are misrepresenting somebody or you are responding to messages of your spouse on her behalf, talking to somebody, chatting with somebody, that is falsehood. Without declaring that you are the one responding is wrong. Is not even godly. It's not as if your spouse is. You are even if I'm the one chatting with Staroda, for example, and the husband is picking the phone and responding to me, and I eventually got to know, then you are telling me that something is wrong in your marriage. You are telling me that, yeah, that you are monitoring your wife and you are monitoring her communication, which means that your wife is already a prisoner. You have already engaged your wife, and she doesn't have a mind of her own. And that's the problem, and we need to face it. So, the issue of privacy is very important, but at the same time, we should not mix it up with secrecy. Secrecy is different. And another thing is, whenever you are communicating, maybe if there's an opportunity and we talk about that, you should always think about what is happening at the other end of the communication line. And if the opportunity comes up, we talk about that too.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Guys, you see what I'm saying? Today's uh, discussion topic is a practical one and is a real one. So, if you have people around you and you know they can benefit from this discussion, please don't hesitate to share this video out with them. Yeah, during the course of the conversation, Mrs. Ify said on YouTube, in some instances, it is not intentional to read the message. Although, in most cases, people check their spouse's phone because of trust issues. And then she said sometimes the argument may be transfer of aggression.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, okay, so yeah, it can be as a result of transfer of aggression. But like Sister Bumi says, that there are different cases, there are different situations. There are situations where it is accidentally checked. The phone, the messages was accidentally checked. But there are still some cases when it is not, it's more, it's not the first time, It's not the second time, it's not the third time. Like this week, I was chatting with a friend, a very close friend, and I sent some series of messages to the friend, and I think maybe a day or 2 days after, she now messaged me. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really very sorry. I didn't respond to your messages in time." She said she didn't even know that I messaged her already. That because her husband already checked the phone, I already checked her message. He said, "Ah, these are our husbands. Why would they always check our phone? Eh? They will check our phone. They will not even let us know that we had messages to read." She was just apologizing to me. I know. I was like, "Oh, it's okay. No problem." So now, in situations where I will say maybe not accidentally, it's first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. This is something that occurs, that reoccurs. How do you walk up to your spouse and let them know you don't feel comfortable? Like, it's not a serious fight, it's not a quarrel, but you just want to express your feeling about it. That at least tell me, let me know that you checked my message. Like the example Stabumi shared. What if I get a message that needs immediate response? How would I have known if you don't tell me? So how do you address that in a way that will not cause any suspicion? Like, why are you taking it so serious? Why? It's just a little thing. So why are you so serious about it? Are you hiding something or what? Okay.
Okay, you start.
Why?
Yes. Why me,
Well,
right? Why you?
well, I think Sister Rhoda already part of gave the kind of response that I'm going to give, and that is communication, sitting down to talk about it together. Now we should recognize the fact that we are all wired differently. Um, and nobody's really better than another person. It's just a matter of difference. For example, I'm going to use my own personal example. I'm not comfortable taking phone calls in the public. Not I just feel that somebody I don't know is listening on my conversation. I don't feel so most of the time when I'm outside, except it's a chat of how are you doing. I know it's going to be a quick call. I would not really be comfortable talking to someone on phone when I'm doing when I'm buying something at the grocery store. That is just me. I think I take conversations too seriously. Maybe that is just me. Now, my husband can take phone calls anywhere. Like he's on phone call when he's driving, he's doing this, he's doing that. For me, it's just a thing of difference. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm hiding something from him. That is why I did not take the phone call when we were together in the car. It doesn't suggest that. But like I said, there must be conversations around it. So if he feels that I'm hiding something, he should communicate it. If I think that he's overbearing by checking my phone messages, I should communicate it. We should talk about it. What exactly are you looking for? If he's not looking for anything that, oh, I just enjoy reading, maybe he just enjoys it, then we'll talk about it. At least maybe the person now commits to, okay, I will continue immediately I read your message, I'll let you know what happened there or something like that. But we need to talk about it. I think that's the starting point for it, in my own opinion.
Yeah. So I want to say that just like she said, that we are wired differently is very important. But one thing I want to bring to it is you thought, okay, you missed the message because your spouse read it and you are supposed to respond immediately. But now you didn't respond immediately because you missed that message. Has it ever happened to you that you missed a message that nobody checked? It could have happened in time past. I've seen messages before that I was like, what? How did I miss this message? Even despite the fact that it's still showing on red. I've seen messages before that on email. I'll be like, what? I didn't see this message. How come? That kind of thing. So it could happen to anybody, and don't just throw it out that because this person checked it, then I missed it, or something of that nature. But now, if we are not talking about something that is persistent, something that continues to happen every time, then just like she said, there is need for a communication around it, but not aggressive communication.
Mhm.
I can see, yeah, one of our brothers responded on the chat here that because sometimes when you address such things, it doesn't end well. Address it not aggressively in person. Oh, you may even be saying it jokingly, though it's painful to you, but you may say, "Oh, I missed this message from this. Oh, my husband, you check this message. Oh, well, I've missed it anyway, but I will reach out to him." That kind of you will not say, "Yeah, I missed the message now because if you have not checked my message, I will not have missed it." Don't be too aggressive. It may be something that pained you, but control your pain and find a way to address what is even making your husband to be checking your phone every time. Address it. Probably the husband himself is doing something wrong
Yeah.
and he's already suspecting the wife. Maybe your husband also needs help. Because if you're married as husband and wife, you need to help one another. Sometimes, even when I counsel people, I don't, it's not all the counsel that will now sit down together with my wife. Let's begin to analyze. This is a life. This is his life. No. But there could be some naughty issue that I'd be like, I was discussing with somebody and this came up. What do you think about it? I can get counsel for my wife. She can get counsel for me. Oh, this person is talking to me about this. What do you think? We talk to ourselves about it. So it's not about keeping secret, but it's about being open and being expressive, communicating things, communicating issues, even when it has to do with others. So when something is not becoming persistent, then address it in a friendly way, not immediately, not with aggression, but in a friendly way. And I want you to know something. If my wife has always been secretly checking my phone and I don't know, and she's looking for something, give it few months. I know she will not check it anymore. Because after some time, she will discover that I am not even hiding anything from her. And if you are somebody like that, at some point, your husband or your wife will give up on you because everything is plain. And I even wish that my wife will have enough time to be checking my phone because she'll be able to help me with some of my problems that I've not been able to attend to. There are some people that don't even carry phone. They have gotten to that level. It's their PA that carries all their phones for them and respond to their messages. They are operating at that level. They hire people to carry their phone and respond to messages. So
Mm.
please, okay, you want to make a comment about that?
Yes, I don't want us to downplay a situation where somebody is feeling over monitored by their
Yeah,
spouse, because sometimes it can offset some feelings too. If I come and I notice that my husband is consistently checking on my phone, like, there's no way that it will not affect me in some way. Like, I want to ask questions of what is he looking for. And in such situations, I want to say, like, if you are the partner, um, like we said, talk about it. Don't just stay quiet. Don't just think that everything is fine.
yeah,
Everything is fine, but it should be a cause for concern, because it's just very strange to me that somebody you be reading now, and that's why I talk about difference. If it's somebody that just like reading, and your phone is one of the things they are
yeah,
reading, maybe that's fine, but they should communicate it. But just ask those simple questions. And I think another thing that Brofola said I picked from is probably the person is also like hiding something now. Does the wife has the password to the husband's phone? So if it is a situation that it's only my husband that has the password to my phone and I don't have his, then it can be a question of what is he digging for if I don't have the same access to his own phone. So just first of all, look at this like, don't take this too seriously. Don't let it get at you. But before it gets at you, just communicated, like,
Yeah.
why did you, like, maybe some people are raised in such a way that they are used to it, and now you got married and you realize that is what they are doing. So you just need to identify what the root cause of the problem is and identify it.
Yeah. And then before you react to your spouse, make sure you did a self evaluation. Make sure you have done your personal self evaluation. What is making him to begin to check my phone recently? Is anything changing about me? Is anything wrong? After doing your own self evaluation, then address it with him. Is anything wrong with him also? That kind of thing. But you just met your husband checking your phone 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and you begin to throw tantrum. No, something is somewhere. There is a root cause. Let's evaluate and then find a better way, a good method to address the issue.
Thank you very much, Simon. But in from looking at it from another perspective, why would well, I think in order not to drag this conversation for too long, maybe we'll have another discussion related to this on another episode. But I was just thinking when Professor was talking, why would a spouse want to check the other person's phone? That means maybe the person is feeling insecure. Why would you feel insecure about your partner?
Hmm.
Because I cannot just figure it out.
Yeah, there are reasons to feel insecure. Reasons, many stories, many experiences, and
Oh,
people have suffered.
okay, so Mrs. Iffy said, immediately you express your feelings. End. It doesn't end well at times, but then you have said it, and you are both adults. And then she said, men usually feel better than women. That's ego. That gender is something. Oh my god. Wow, it's been an interesting conversation. Thank you very much, sir and Ma. And on today's episode, we'll be bringing this discussion to a close shortly. But before then, let's have our takeaways for this episode. Something to go with for all our viewers out there. What are you saying, Ma?
Do you want to start first?
Yeah, what what came to my mind is funny. Like, whatever is good for the geese is good for the gander. If you want to have your spouse's password, give your password to, like, transparency.
Well, this has been a kind of watchword for me. What Jesus said, that whatever is said in the secret will be made open, will be announced in the public. So, if possible, as much as possible, you don't hide anything from your spouse. There could be some delayed information because of, oh, at this time, or when he's in the good mood, or when she's in the good mood, I will relate this to him or her, maybe within 1 day or at most 2 days. But don't hide any situation. We always have the mindset that, "Oh, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out." But issues can become complicated. And before you figure it out, the issue itself has figured you out. So it's always very, very important to make sure that you don't keep a secret from your spouse.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Thank you very much, sir and Ma, once again for the privilege to have you with us on the platform today. It's been Matters with Roy. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us on the conversation today. Really appreciate it. And on this note, we'll be bringing this conversation to a close. But before then, let me tell you something. You know what? This discussion, there's a little, there's more to it because we're going to be looking at secrecy in marriage. You know,
Yeah.
when maybe the father and the son have a discussion and it's like, is your wife there? Or the mother and the father talking, is your husband there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yes.
very important.
So
I'm
I'm
looking
sure
forward
you
to
don't
it.
want to miss the next
Yeah.
episode. So guys, if you are yet to subscribe, go ahead to YouTube, check out Jason Matters with Roy. Go ahead and subscribe so you get notified whenever we go live for the next episode. And if you've been watching on Facebook as well, stay tuned. So we'll come your way again. It's still Jinsei Matters with Roy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Bye.